How's it going, everyone? The 1MFP here. I hope you're all having a great day today. Today I'm going to be reacting to some Lana Del Rey. It's going to be my first time reacting to Lana on this channel, but I'm pretty familiar with her work. I really enjoy her dreamy psychedelic sound. It's a sound I really appreciate, and it's one that I like going back to listen to over and over again, so I really like her work. But with that said, I haven't listened to any of her newer material that's scheduled to be on her next album, Norman freaking Rockwell. I know the freaking is not actually there, it's an actual F-bomb, but I'm not going to drop the F-bomb here. What I want to do here today is react to one of the more recently released singles off of the next album. Hope is a dangerous thing for a woman like me to have, but I have it. That's a very long title. Pretty interesting considering I just reacted to Panic at the Disco's A Fever You Can't Sweat Out album, their first album. That album was filled with titles like these. And like I said in that album reaction, I really like it when you have a statement like this as the title for a song. It kind of just paints a picture for you before you even get into the song. That's just an interesting experience to me. But anyways, let's get right into listening to this song. If you're new to this channel, welcome. My name's Matt. I post reaction videos on this channel, so if you enjoy that type of content and you like this video, please take the time to check out some of my other reactions, and if you enjoy those, please subscribe. I always appreciate the support. Now let's get right into it. Hope is a dangerous thing for a woman like me to have, but I have it by Lana Del Rey.
I was reading some lyrics and I got to thinking I'd get less stressed if I was tested less, like smiling for miles in pink dresses and high heels and white yachts. But I'm not. I've been dating around in my thin white gown 24/7 till the apply. Right, don't ask if I'm happy, you know that I'm not, but at best I can say I'm not sad, cause hope is a dangerous thing to have.
We actually have the title of the song in the song despite it being such a long statement.
I had 15-year dances, church basement romances, shaking my ass is the only thing that's off my back. She couldn't care less, and I never cared more. It's a dangerous thing for a woman with my past. They're right that I'm happy, they know that I'm not, but at best you can see I'm not sad. But hope is a dangerous thing.
That was Hope is a Dangerous Thing for a Woman Like Me to Have, but I Have It by Lana Del Rey. Very melancholic song, and she finds a way to make it sound so good. It feels very powerful. There's a lot of raw emotion behind the song, and you could really feel it. You could really put yourself in her shoes to kind of absorb what she's saying and feel for her and what she's going through. One of the elements I really liked about this song is just how well her voice suits these lyrics. You could really feel the emotion behind the words. You score major points with me when that connection is established. Another thing I really liked about this song is how it feels like a conversation at times. She's just flowing very nicely over this beat, and then you start realizing she's rhyming in how she's talking. It just sounds so melodic and beautiful that you're not even really paying attention to how much it's rhyming. It just feels so poetic in of itself just through how it sounds. Another element I really liked about this song is the changing chorus. I think the first 2 times she sings the chorus, they change completely, or maybe not completely, but at least the first half changes. And the ending portion, you know, where she says, hope is a dangerous thing for a woman like me to have, I think the second time around she adds something. Then the third chorus is identical to the first chorus, if I'm not wrong, except she adds something different at hope is a dangerous thing for a woman like me to have. That's where she adds, but I have it. One more element I want to mention before I get into my breakdown of my interpretation of the song. I really like the cover art for this single. You have Lana just smiling. She's not looking into the camera or anything. She's kind of just looking down. She's got this nice smile, and it really fits the title of the song with the subject matter of the song. We're really building up to this point of she has hope. It's almost as if she's hesitant to mention that she has hope, and that makes a lot of sense because, like she says in the title, she feels that hope is a dangerous thing for a girl like her to have. So, you know, her kind of just looking down and smiling, it just feels really fitting. She's not looking up, she's not looking into the camera in a confident way. She's just kind of got this glimmer of hope on her face, but she's conservative about it in a way just by looking down. So those are the main aspects I really like about this song and how it all comes together. Now to get into the lyrics, in verse 1 she introduces the mindset she's in. She's reading Slim Errands. I'm guessing that's some kind of magazine because she's talking about debutantes and they're smiling in pink dresses and high heels on white yachts. She's saying she's looking at these girls in these pictures and they seem to be happy, and she feels that their happiness comes from the fact that they have it all, and with them having it all she feels like they're less tested, so they're less stressed. but she's not in that position. The important thing I'm seeing here in this verse is the explanation of where her mind is at. She's looking at these images of people who appear to have it all together, and this gets her to thinking about herself and where she's at and what she has to deal with, her general stresses. To say these people are less tested, she doesn't really know whether or not they're more or less tested. They're just some actors in a magazine. And if we even want to touch on the subject of the idea of this person, and it's the idea of this person you're comparing yourself to, so somebody who does have it all these riches and the yacht and these bikinis and all of that, you're still comparing yourself to something someone is portraying. You don't know what's going on internally. You don't know what they deal with. You're just comparing your internal to their external. And for me, that's where this important connection was made. There's what things appear to be, and there's what things feel like when she experiences them, and there's a separation there. I think that's where the issue is for her in this mindset. It's that she doesn't necessarily want to have these pink dresses and be on these yachts. She just wants to experience that happiness, and she feels like whatever she does, whatever she achieves, whatever she has, she can't find herself to be happy the way the people in these magazines are. And then we go into this first chorus. She's been writing in blood on the walls because the ink in her pen won't work in her notebook. So I'm just picturing this as Lana is just really wanting to write to express her feelings, but her pen won't work. But those emotions have to get out one way or another. She cannot allow these thoughts to just be contained within. She can't be dealing with them in her mind so much. She says, "Don't ask me if I'm happy, you know that I'm not, but at best I can say that I'm not sad, because hope is a dangerous thing for a woman like me to have." So again, I go back to this magazine here. Hope is a dangerous thing for her to have. Don't ask her if she's happy, you know that she's not. So she's seeing these people who appear to be happy in this magazine because they have a smile on, because they're enjoying the sun probably on this yacht. With what she's saying here, it feels like she almost fears being happy. And the reason for it is that she feels like happiness won't last. And then when it's taken away from her, she's going to be extremely sad. And then she'll have this hope for this happiness, but it'll be so hard for her in her mind to attain again. For that reason, this middle between happiness and sadness is something she's more comfortable with. If it gets taken away from her, it's almost more reasonable for her to work her way back up to that level, as opposed to getting herself back up to happy if she lost happiness. Then in verse 2, we have some information as to what makes Lana Del Rey happy. She mentions dances and she mentions the stage. In between the two, she mentions church basement romances, spilling her guts with bums. That's the only love she's ever known. The way I heard this is she's had problematic relationships. Dance and music is what kept it together for her in those times. Then we have the second chorus, and the placement is interesting here to, switch up the lyrics in the chorus, because she talks about shaking her rear end. And this comes right after having just talked about dance and how important it was for her. She's saying shaking that rear end gets this narcissist off her back, and I'm guessing the narcissist she's talking about is like this presence within her, kind of like a negative mentality that she's fighting against. She says she couldn't care less and I never cared more, and she in this case again, I'm guessing is referring to that negative mentality. It's trying to drag her down, and she's fighting as much as possible. Dancing is one of the things that pushes that mentality away, but now there's like this negativity attached to the dance. She's sexualized it almost out of frustration, it seems. Then with the hope is a dangerous thing for a woman like me to have, she attaches another statement to it here. Hope is a dangerous thing for a woman with my past. And we go back to that verse right before. The past she seems to be referring to is those past relationships, the church basement romances, the spilling her guts. So, I'm guessing there she's referencing issues with alcohol in the past. So with what I'm getting so far, anything she's got that's brought her happiness has disappointed her at some point. So the more happiness she has, the more it gets taken away. So hope comes at a price, in the sense that with every good thing comes a bad thing. And is she willing to deal with more bad things? It's almost better for her to just be in that middle. And that's pretty much how she sees it in her mind. And then we go into this bridge that leads into the last chorus, which ends off the song. In the bridge, she labels herself a modern day woman with a weak constitution because she still has monsters under her bed that she can never fight off. So going back to this narcissist, she sees herself as weak because she doesn't deem herself powerful enough to push away those negative thoughts. They always keep coming back. And then we go into the concluding chorus, which is, identical to the first chorus we heard, but we do have her saying that she has hope. So, I mean, I just see this as this conflict Lana has going on in her mind where she can't decide whether or not she really wants to be hopeful. Hope is dangerous for her to have because if she gets that happiness she's seeking, like those people in those magazines, or at least how they appear to be, she knows how quickly it can be taken away, and if it gets taken away from her, she has to deal with more sadness. She wants to avoid sadness at all costs, so just at best saying that she's not sad, that's good enough in her mind. But then there's the possibility that, you know, her saying that that's good enough, just being in the middle between sadness and happiness, that could be this narcissist or this negative entity within her that's trying to keep her down. It's the monsters underneath her bed that don't want to let her to be happy. But towards the middle of a song, again, she's reminded that she's lost happiness in the past. So is it really worth it to be hopeful knowing that you could lose anything you're hopeful for? Well, we end on a positive note and she decides she's going to be hopeful. She may have lost happiness in certain cases. It doesn't mean she'll always lose happiness. She doesn't know what the future holds. Staying in the middle without ever striving for more would mean allowing those negative thoughts or those monsters underneath her bed to win. Her saying she has hope is what distances her away from those negative thoughts and those monsters. And that's how I interpreted this song. I really liked it. Very introspective, very emotional. Lana tends to do a great job of packing her lyrics with emotions, and her voice is so good at complementing those lyrics. It really feels like she gives it her all, and I really enjoy that aspect of her music on top of anything else I've mentioned earlier in the video. Anyways, that does it for this video. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. Please leave a like on this video if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you all next time. Have a great day, y'all.